Fellas, I got something for you. Summertime is here, and you do not want to be caught out in these streets stanking. Do me a favor and go to shopmando.com and use the promo code SNEAK, SNEAK. Get $5 off your new products. All right? I'm telling you, I use Mando every single day. All right? I use the spray, I use the solid stick, and I use it all over. All right? Like I said, this podcast is stationed in Arizona. We know something about being hot, and there are times where you outside chilling, hanging out with the homies, and you just stink. You don't want to find yourself pulling your shirt off or pulling your pants down, and you smell like a belly button. You don't want that. I promise you. Go to shopmando.com and use the promo code SNEAK, SNEAK. I seen some of you guys posting on Instagram, hanging out at Coachella. You look like you stink. Mando is proven to work 72 hours of odor protection. You need it. You're going to be hanging out at stuff like festivals and stuff like this summer. You want to at least smell fresh. Even if you look dusty, you want to smell fresh. Like I said at the top, go to shopmando.com and use the promo code SNEAK, SNEAK. My personal favorite is the bourbon leather spray. I spray it everywhere. I make sure I hit the undercarriage. Fellas, you know what the undercarriage is, all right? You can spray on top all you want, but if you hit that undercarriage, it means nothing, all right? You're going to be at those day parties. You're going to be outside chilling. You're going to be hitting up the food festivals. You're going to be hitting up the music festivals. If your body stink, don't think about trying to talk to a nice young lady or fella, depending on what you like. We don't discriminate around here. Everybody needs to smell fresh. And like I said, go to shopmando.com and use the promo code SNEAK, SNEAK. Appreciate everybody. All right. You ready?
Let's go.
All right, yo. Sneak This Podcast episode. Oh, shoot. What is this? 384, I think. We're back in the building. We got Greg. George isn't here yet, but he's coming. And then we got the international correspondent. We got Jay in the building at Shanghai Soul. You already know him. It's been a long time.
Been a while.
I feel like there's like a small delay, but I don't think it's too bad.
Okay. I mean, I hear you perfectly fine.
Okay. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you really good. So I don't think it's too bad or whatnot. I think the audio may be a tad bit low, but I could raise it up when I actually when I do the video and stuff like that.
All right.
All right, cool. So this is episode 384. We appreciate everybody who likes, subscribe, share this podcast. Jay hit me up, said get back on the pod. I know it's been a long, long time, and we've been needing to talk and get back on and whatnot and talk sneakers. There's been a lot going on.
Why are we only chatting when there's like a international crisis between countries?
I don't know, man. I don't know why. And you hit me up with asking that. So. But we need to get back talking more, definitely. So, but I know you cut time. I know you you actually on the clock right now and finding time for us. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. It's good to chop it up with you again. Can't wait to see George and all his
All his
grumpy
body.
hot takes on sneakers. Yeah.
See all his body. Yeah, he'll be here in a little bit. So actually, he'll probably be here around like 6:00. So, but yeah. So we are doing top 10 today. And how do you want to describe this top 10?
So I was thinking like, like at least since the last time we talked, like so much has changed with like sneaker culture. Like when when we first started talking, it was all about resale and how everything was on the up and up. And then over the past, what, 2 years probably, it's been on, a decline, right?
Yeah.
Like a heavy decline. At least we're talking about with like Nike and Adidas, at least. Like
Right.
I think the other brands definitely have stepped up a lot. And the whole like everyone's style and fit has changed. And now I think with you know, he who shall not be named, uh, you know, uh, with uh, the leader of the free country.
Our chief, our commander in chief.
Yeah, like with all those things like happening, it's like it's kind of like it might push us back down in that like resale category again, but I don't know. I think it's going to be a little bit different. So I think with all the changes, my idea was like, what are some things that sneakerheads are like kind of craving or looking for, or what are some like wish lists that we have like now that we're kind of like starting from ground zero again? You know what I mean?
So, and you know what? On my list that I made, I don't have like anything like any retros or any sneakers or anything on my list like that.
No, I didn't go that way. I didn't go that way either.
Okay, so I strictly went like things that I want to see, changes that I want made. And probably half of the changes are probably something that just can't happen. Like, you know, and I'm just like,
Same.
but it's something that I would
Same.
like.
Same. Like I was going through the list yesterday and I was like, is this realistic? Or is this what people really want? Or is this what I really want? But then I think that there I think that when you kind of ask a collective, I think most people like right off the bat would say something similar along those lines. But I also did not go individual sneaker wants and like,
Nah,
oh, we need, you know, the undefeated like fours, or we
nah.
need the friends and family Travis fours and
Yeah,
whatever.
no.
I didn't
There
go
there
down
is
that path.
absolutely there's absolutely nothing that I'm like dying to come back out. Like I have too much. I know you got too much. All right. So at this point, I'm just like, it don't even matter what come out anymore. If I want it, I'm gonna get it. But like to actually want something particular to come out, I ain't tripping. But like you said though, some of my on my list, I'm like, I don't even know if I actually want this, and I don't even know if it's actually possible. My mind is just like, you know what, this was something that'd be awesome if they even put the forth the effort, but they're definitely gonna have to figure out something to keep the community together. If there's a lot of these changes that are actually coming down the pipeline, so we'll have to see though.
Right.
So
Yep. And I feel like some of the things that they're trying to do, like, you know, they're re-releasing Galaxy Foams, Undefeated Fours,
right,
Wu-Tang Dunks, like they're trying to do something. Um, but it's kind of I mean, we'll talk about it later, but like they're trying, but like I don't know if they're doing it the right way.
yeah, I don't either, and we'll have to see. So, but let's start with pickups. I know you're limited on time, and I want to make sure we can get to as much as possible, and I don't want you to get rushed through your top 10 either. All right. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so let's talk pickups, man. What you've copped? I know you probably copped everything.
Nope, nope. Nah, I've been slowing down a lot, to be honest with you.
Yeah, right.
But like
Slowing down the sneakerheads is like, you know, they skipped a
it
couple
just comes in
months.
waves. It comes in waves, right? Exactly. Just exactly what you said. Like I won't buy anything for like 2 months, and then in a 2 week span I'll pick up like five pairs of shoes. And it's like, dang, like whoops. Like I thought I slowed down for a second.
Dude, that
Um,
always happens.
but yeah, right off the top, from most recent to back, picked up the Kobe 8 What Does.
Oh, you grabbed them?
Yeah, we got them out here.
Okay.
And then I picked up the Air Max 95 Big Bubble,
Oh, was
the
it hard to
neons.
get out there?
Yes,
Really?
yes, it was hard to get, and the resale prices out here are crazy. And so I thought that it was more like a Asia thing. I thought it was like, oh, Shanghai just didn't get a lot because there's certain shoes that we never get. So for example, when they released the CB94s, like every like, you know, 3, 4 years,
Right.
like you know how it's always like a QS, like a quick strike.
Yeah.
Like we never get those ever. So
Really?
all the 94, all the Barclays that we ever get, I've had to get them from the States. And like they're not bad on eBay, but like for whatever reason, we never get them. We never get penny ones. It's a lot of like the 90s retro. We never got the Dions.
What?
Um yeah, never. We because I think it's like not a big like Dion's out here. There's like no culture for that. Like there's no
Okay.
history, there's no like tie-in. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
but
no
I
one's
think,
buying a Dion out here.
well, so you know what's funny is when you talk about that, since like football is an American, American football is an American thing, that's probably why there's not really a culture for it like that overseas. And
Oh, for sure.
and potentially maybe even like something as early as the pennies because obviously China has always been involved in basketball, but it didn't really super duper explode until like Kobe. So like
Kobe,
yeah, so like
Kobe.
obviously Jordans are iconic. That's a little bit different, but like pennies, Barclays, maybe even Pippins, things like that may not be as popular out there potentially.
Yep, yep. So we never get those. And then so for whatever reason, the 95s were pretty limited. They're going for pretty expensive. They're going for like $400 maybe
I hate that.
on resale. Um, but I was able to get them through Doe. So shout out to Doe. But they're nice. They're pretty nice.
I
Like
mean,
they're done. They're done better than the Air Max One Big Bubble, in my opinion. They look better. I don't know if it's because the silhouette it fits a bigger air bubble better, but like it just looks like a better sneaker.
well, I mean, the Air Max 95 is just better materials all around. That's always been what an all suede shoe, you know, ever since the conception of it. So it's always to me just been a better shoe. When I look at the new 95, I don't even notice that it's a big bubble. It doesn't look that
Right.
dramatically different to me. And maybe I got to see it in
Yeah.
hand, but yeah, I still got pairs of 95s, neons, and all the bubbles are grayed out, and maybe even some are cracked. So I didn't find the need to buy them. I don't own any big bubble Air Max ones either. So like to me, a big bubble on it wasn't enough for me to go buy it again. I got blues, I got
Right.
reds, I got tons of Air Max ones. So a big bubble wasn't making me like, oh, I need these.
Yeah. I sold my 95s and then these came out and I was like, oh man, like it'd be nice to get them back. And you know, that's the sneakerhead struggle right there. It's like I had them, never wore them, sold them, and now all of a sudden they're dropped again. I'm like, ooh, I might need them. I'm like, you dummy, why'd you even sell them to begin with? And I didn't even sell them that long ago.
So what's funny is I used to be like people used to say stuff like that, and I used to be like, man, what are you talking about? But like I can think back at times when like I needed to pay a lot more money for another pair. So I went to the closet and grabbed anything. You know what I mean? So, like, people who sell stuff and they're like, man, I sold it and I want it back now. I kind of understand it. Hey, I was young at one point. I found myself caught up like, oh crap, I got to pay a phone bill. I got to pay a bill real quick. And I would sell something. Or if it was like, dang, this cat is selling me, some Flint 13s for 200. If I sell this Air Max 95 and this for 100, then I could be good. You know what I mean? Like you would just get rid of stuff to get
Right.
rid of it, at those times. So I can kind of understand that at the moment. And plus, I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I got more, not respect, but like to me now at the age that I'm at, Air Max 95s fit me a lot better at this age. Like it's like something you throw on. It's like a Spiridon and stuff like that. Back in
Yep.
1995, all the older people that I looked up to had on Air Max 95s. A lot of us kids had them, but they didn't seem appropriate for us to me. I don't know why. It felt like a teenager, college, adult sneaker. You know what I mean? At least to me back then. So,
Well, so for me now, I think what I'm really into is like I want to show my age. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah,
It's
me
kind of
too.
weird. Like I want to show like, oh, I know this. Like this is the era that I grew up in, right? It's kind of like yesterday I wore silver bullets and the students in my class were like, "What are those?" And I'm
Yeah.
like, "Man, you have no idea." Like, and so and it must be like all I want to do is rock retros now. Like I almost took out some my Barclays the other day and just put them on. I mean, by the way, those things are so hard to get on because the inner
They
sock.
always have
I
been.
mean, I got one foot in and I was like, no, this is too much work. But I definitely want to show it's not so much like my knowledge, but like I just want to show like, oh, this is what I grew up with.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, like ever since like, I started putting forth effort of wearing a sneaker on the podcast, like my Jordans. I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to wear this Jordan today. I'm going to wear this runner today." It helps. And then also, you know what it is? Like it's it's just wearing them. Like I got my Spiridons on right now, my OGs. These joints are filthy, okay? Like I'm talking filthy, and I haven't even tried to clean them, and I'm okay with it. Like to me, it's my like, yo, I've been in this for a long time. Like I can't run around with DS brand new pristine sneakers forever. I went paintball shooting
Right.
in Miami and bred one lows. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at first, any other time, I probably have been like, nah, I can't wear these out here. Nah, I could care less at this point. Like to me, it's like, you know
Yeah.
what? To me, it shows your age when you're like, you ain't stressing or you ain't tripping off, messing your sneakers up or something like that.
And I think in today's society, like I'm okay doing that now because I know that they'll come back out. Like
Pretty
I'm
much.
okay for whatever reason. I was like maybe like 5 years ago, I'd panic and be like, "Oh my God, this is my last shot at them." And now that they're re-releasing everything, it's like nothing's untouchable.
Yeah, but
You'll see it again, and we'll see it again in our lifetime, right?
yeah,
Like
but I
a
definitely
bread low and whatever.
I definitely but at the same time I'm like, well shoot, um if I wait for the next retro, it might be like $35 more by that time. As, as, as much
It's
things
true.
is going up. So, but anyways, let's get back to
It's
pickups.
true.
What else you cop? What else you cop?
All right. I got the Nigel fours.
Yep, yep, yep.
Fire.
Super fire.
I haven't worn them yet though, but
Me
they're
neither.
fire.
And I said as soon
Um,
as I copped them, I was gonna put them on feet, and I didn't.
Come on, man. Our boy Mike has already rocked them in every event he's gone to.
He wears everything.
He does wear everything. And then Joe Freshgoods 992.
Is that the purple one?
I think the pink one.
Oh, the pink one. Oh, okay. George got those.
I like those. I like those a lot, actually.
I probably should have bought those because I don't own any 992s, and I had an opportunity to buy them a few times, and I was just like, I'm good. And I've bought so much other dumb stuff since then. I don't know why. Like, you know, like I just recently, like I got the Kobe's. The Kobe Dodgers came in. I can't do
Mm,
nothing with that. Like, that's nothing for me. The only reason why I'm keeping it is one because it's Dodgers. Honestly, the only reason why I'm keeping it is because it's Dodgers. I could care less that it's a Kobe. Like, I'm not a fan of Kobe sixes anymore. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And I'm not a fan of really any Kobe's anymore. Like I really debated and went back and forth on whether or not I want to try for the Whatas. The only reason I would have tried for the Whatas is because it's a Kobe 8. I really don't see myself wearing those unless I'm about to go hoop typically, you know what I mean? But and I would wear them to hoop. Like I wear all my funky color sneakers when I go hoop. You know what I mean? I wear my,
Yep. Me too.
Whatas and all my other colorways and things like that. You know what I mean? So but I was like, I don't know. I would just be buying these to buy these. And at this point, I'm like, things are so expensive. I just ain't got time to be greedy anymore. And I don't got no more space. Like, I'm just out of space in my closet and other areas that I keep sneakers. And I'm tired of it, at this point. So, other thing that I picked up another Spiridon, but it was the like electric blue or something like that, the OG blue
Mm.
colorway. And then shoot, what else did I get? I feel like there was one more thing. Um gosh, I don't know. I just threw it in the closet.
What'd you think about those undefeated Spiridons?
Oh, you know what's funny is that I already had bought the triple black ones, then I had bought the OG red, then I had bought the blues and something else. So when they originally dropped the colors of them, because I saw them ahead of time, I was like, I already bought pairs that look similar to these. So, but that
Yeah.
was based off pictures. Then when I saw them in person, I was like, God dang it. I was like, I should have bought them. I still can. They're still available. So I think they're still even at our undefeated out here. But I really like them a lot. I just wish undefeated would go back to the olive green and orange. Like, if you're going to
Mm.
come out with multiple colorways, cool. Come out with multiple colorways, but one of them has to be olive green and orange. Period. I don't care what collaboration you do. You come out with three colorways, one has to be olive green and orange to me. And they just strayed
Yeah,
away
kind of
from it.
like what they did with the 97s, right? The 97s, they went
Yeah.
with like three or four colorways, but then one of them was the green and orange
Yeah,
one.
they had the black, the white, then the black with the neon, then they had the OG, the olive colorway. And I'm like, man, you always got to
Yeah,
throw that
yeah,
in there. And even the homie Matt, shout out to the
yeah,
homie Shu Hefner. Like I told him, he sent me, the thing. He asked me that I want him, and I was like, yeah, but I was like, buddy, when are they gonna go back to olive and orange? Like, it's iconic. Like it's an iconic
yeah.
colorway, and hopefully after they drop the four again, maybe they'll start going back to it, and see what happens with that. So I don't know, but yep, as far as pickups, that's all I got. So it's actually been okay. I mean, I've been, you know,
You getting rid of pairs?
um, not really, but in order to buy the Nigels, I had to sell some. So I don't know if that qualifies as getting rid of pairs. um,
Are you getting rid of pairs with just for the intention of getting rid of pairs?
that is a no. Okay. Now, I would say yes, but Cortez is almost at the age where he can fit my size. And I'm like, you know
Mm,
what? I'm never gonna wear these, but he's gonna get to the point to where he can wear them and he'll want to stunt on everybody at school. So cool. Then they'll be here for him. Like I really have no reason to get
yep.
rid of them. I don't need money. I don't need anything like that. It's just at this
You
point,
need space.
yeah, space is the only reason why I would. Um, but I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just start moving them into the spare bedroom. You know what I mean? I'll start moving them other places. Like, you know, I got storage and stuff like that. I may move them there, but that's a different topic. So I don't even know.
Yo, it's so funny. I bet you it's so funny how when it comes to like moving sneakers, all of a sudden sneakerheads become like interior designers. They're like, "Oh, I think I can put some in that room and I think I
Uh,
can rearrange the
well, see,
situation
the
right here."
only reason why I haven't done a lot of moving inside the house with sneakers is because Rocio won't let me. So she's like, no, 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 we're not gonna be doing that. You're not gonna take over the house with a lot of this stuff like that. And I try to
Right.
make sure that
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
try to make sure that my sneakers are not visible anywhere. Like I don't want anybody coming to my house seeing sneakers anywhere whatsoever. Like I don't want that
All
to
right.
just be this is my home, my family where I, you know, rest. When I go inside the closet, it stresses me out enough. I don't want to walk into the spare
Yeah, it's
bedroom.
stressful.
Yeah, I don't want to walk into the spare bedroom and be like, "Oh my God, sneakers everywhere, more sneakers everywhere." And so I don't know. We'll see. But Jay, you want to do releases for me?
Yeah, it's pretty weak. Like I was looking at the release schedule because I think a lot of stuff comes out after next week. So I only wanted to stay within this week.
Did you
I
go?
see
I mean, if you could
the
go all the way to Tuesday, that'd be great. What are you using to look at them?
I used the Nike release. I did sneakers and I also looked at like Kicks on Fire, which is like got the weekly release
Oh,
schedule.
okay. Yeah, usually we do GOAT,
But
but it's all good.
so I see the Jordan 1 Lows rookie of the year.
No thanks.
Yeah, that's a pass.
Now,
Um,
if I catch them for $67, let me know.
those or Mocha lows.
Oh yeah, I'm copping Mocha Lows. Like one day, I didn't cop them when I should have, but one day that I'll get those.
Next one is you and George's favorite, Katie Fours, Easters.
No thanks.
You how did so I never got on the Katie Four wave like you guys did, but like that's why did you guys ride so hard for that shoe?
Because at that time, one, it was fire at the time. The colorways were fire at the time. That's one. Two, that joint was like $95 at that time. So it was like
True.
it was rare to find that both of that combination, affordable price and fire colorways. They were dropping colorways like every 2 weeks in them joints. Year of the Dragons. You had the Christmas colorways. You had Easters. You had your Aunt Pearls. You had your Undefeateds, your N7s. Like they had so many colors. Me and George pretty much bought every single pair except Galaxies. That's the only pair I think that we didn't get. Oh, and Nerf at the time. And you know, we had Weathermans and stuff like that. Like we lost our minds on them joints because they were easy to wear with jeans. This is back when we were still wearing jeans with sneakers and stuff like that and shorts. They were great to hoop in, and they were affordable. So I was like, oh yeah, these joints is fire.
So you guys copped all of them with it wasn't with the intention of flipping them. It was just because
No,
you guys personally love
we
them
kept
and
all
that
of
you
them.
guys
The only pair I ever flipped was the Weathermans, and it took me a long time to flip the Weathermans because I wear a size 10 in KD4s, and I bought a 9.5 in them. So they were way too
yeah, they run
tight.
small.
Yeah,
Those
they
things
were
run
way too
small.
tight, but I loved the shoe so much that I wanted to keep it. So I was like, man, let me go ahead and keep this joint. And then the prices kept going up so high. And then this cat in Texas was like, man, I'll give you 500. I was like, 500? And I paid $95? It would have been extremely irresponsible for me to be like, no, thank you, sir. Fam, 500 and I paid about 110 out the door. You're out of your mind. Like, I'd be a fool to turn that down, regardless of the sneaker. Hold on, George is outside. Let me go get George real quick. Yeah, so I don't know. Them joints was affordable at the time. Them joints was fire. And like I said, the only pair I ever sold at that moment was Weatherman's. And it took a long time to sell them. Like, it took a long, long time. I bought them joints in, like, I think they came out, like, in the winter. I didn't sell them till, like, the end of summer because I was like, dang, they're too little. I can't wear these joints. So, but everything else, kept every single one. So, oh, you know what? I sold the N7 pairs. I didn't like those. And this is back when N7 first came out. Cats was spending a lot of money on that N7 pack. Like,
Yeah.
they were.
'Cause they were like light blue. There's like a lot of blue, a lot of tan, a lot of like this embroidery print
Yeah,
on it. Like
they had
people
the
were
like the
like, "Oh,
little
that's new."
arrows and stuff like that. So like, Cats was paying a lot of money for N7 back then. So that was another pair that me and George didn't like a lot. I think George maybe kept the white pair of N7s, maybe. But yeah, we had got rid of those joints. So,
But yeah.
but
And
anyways,
then I see some like rejuvenate slide version. Have you seen those?
yeah, I seen that. You know them joints. I do want
And
to
it
buy
just
a.
looks like a slide. It just so I have a pair of rejuvenates actually.
Okay.
I didn't know if you had a camera going or not.
Yeah, it's already going.
This man just gonna talk to me with his back face the camera the entire time.
How them rejuvenates feel?
What's up, you girl dad?
Yo!
Hey, where you at? Work?
Yeah, he at work.
That work, man. It's 9 a.m. right now.
Like a Mormon, huh?
He on a mission.
You teaching English,
About
huh?
to sell you something. About to sell you something. Sell you on the book. Sell you on the book. What you rocking today, George? Tell me. It's
He
on
can't
feet
even
today.
hear you. He
Show
won't
me
put
your
his
feet.
headphones on. He got on Jordans. He said, "What you rocking?"
Jordans.
Absolutely nothing.
Dang, and you got on custom socks?
Yeah, right. I probably got these for Christmas from my mom.
Must be nice.
All right.
So Greg, you got on Spiridons. I'm rocking the Jordan 4, the green SBs, pine greens.
Jordan 4 green SBs. Oh,
You want me to check if those
the
are on?
skates. Mine's on. I'm good. Yours should be fine. I turned it on before you sat down now.
No, I know. Oh, we're just right now?
Yeah. Yeah, I got on Spiridon's OGs, but anyways, what else come out?
Yeah, so actually I have a pair of the Rejuvenates. They feel like regular, they just feel like foam shoes, but the one thing that I do like about it, and I guess it's like it's stupid. It's just that there's actual rubber on the bottom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's actual like a thin layer of rubber, so there's like a little bit more traction when you're walking. So they make them a little bit more like suitable for just more occasions to wear it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like slides is like after the gym, after hooping,
Right.
after like just lounging around, like mowing the lawn, whatever. But like because they have rubber on them, they're more wearable.
Are they worth buying?
If you have something comparable, I would say no.
Oh, that's all I need to know because I got plenty of Salehi Binberry Crocs.
Yeah, like it's just a different feel. They're not as wide as Crocs, right? Because like the Salehi Crocs are like boats on your feet, right? Because they still have that like Croc
Yeah.
aesthetic to it. These are a little bit more slim, so they're a little bit more form fitting. So you feel like it's a little bit more stylish in that sense. It's more sleek. It's more sleek.
You want to know what? You know what's funny? Do you know how I know I got too many sneakers? I got about 4 pair of DS Salehi Binberry Crocs, and I rotate between about 5 other colorways.
Yeah.
I got too much.
But I will say, I just got back from Dubai. I was in Dubai for spring break.
It must be nice.
And I wore
Rich.
I mean, from where he's at, that flight was probably like $100. That's like us going to San Diego.
yeah, bet. And Although I will say, flying on airplanes nowadays, man, I was already nervous about flying, but with all these freaking crashes and whatever, it's like
They treat it
long
differently over
distance
there.
flights
You're
always
good.
got me.
I'm always scared when I'm flying.
You're good. They got actual qualified people over there.
They got people who actually want to be pilots and stuff.
I mean, I don't think the problem is the pilots here. I think it's everybody else, like maintenance crews and tower workers and other people that don't want to go to work.
Yeah, that's true.
You know
That's
what?
true.
That's speculation, by the way. Don't nobody take my word and run with it. And
You about to get on
George
no
said
fly
this.
list.
Yeah, all right.
Aggregators are coming after you, George.
They can aggregate these nuts.
What else come out, Jay? Jay was doing releases.
That's all I got. Those were the only ones that I felt like were something of substance.
Dang, you must didn't even look at the releases then, because Goat got a ton of stuff.
Who?
All right. Well, are they any good?
I thought you meant Goat was releasing stuff. I was like, what?
Nah. You want to do releases, George? You want me to do them?
I went to the Verizon store last night, I think, to like return, whatever, when you give the old phone back. And there was some man in there. He was like, I had these on. He was like, where'd you get those dunks? And I like had to hold back. I was like, because I don't like where you feel like you're schooling somebody or whatever. I just want to tell somebody like, these are actually from like 2016. These are Eric Costin's.
See, that's why I don't even bother. Because here's the thing too, and we talked about it, Jay.
Wearing headphones is weird. Huh?
Here's the thing. I don't wear my sneakers enough. Like, I don't hang out with enough people who wear sneakers. So I hate finding myself in that type of situation. I could walk into a room with the people that I hang out with and the crowds that I'm usually around. I could walk into the room with a fresh pair of Nigel brick by brick 4s on, and them cats would be like, "Whoa, what are those? Those look like some. What are those? Some hip hops? They don't know nothing.
Hip hop.
All right, they don't know nothing, and I don't got time to sit here and explain about Nigel Sylvester and skate and they're like bike. I'm like, all right, bro.
Nike knockoffs.
So
yeah, I wore the. We could talk about that in a little bit too. Yeah, I wore the syphilis dunks the other day, and you know how it's like those things like change color or whatever.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of my coworkers were like, "How come your shoes don't match?" Like, because one side was like in the sun and one side was like under the shade.
Yeah.
Oh, how come? Are they supposed to be like that? It was just like, it's too much work.
Yeah, I'm like, oh no, that's just how they made. I just give them civil stuff. If somebody would have looked at my Jordans and instead they were dunks, I would have been like, oh yeah, man, that's crazy, and I just walk off. Like my key saying to everybody, if I don't want to engage, is, oh man, that's crazy, and then I just walk off. Like I don't got time for all that. But
I think you've been saying that for years.
You right.
It's not a new thing.
You gonna do releases, George? Did you hear?
I thought you already
Let's
did.
go, George.
Nah, he only did 3. He said they don't know nothing out there.
Only 3, huh? Okay.
We don't.
Let's see.
Go app right here got a grip.
Log in. Oh yeah, I got a new phone.
Here, want to use mine? Here.
Damn, I
Ain't got time
swear.
for all that.
Ain't got time for all that.
Does Goat have leaning and anti releases on there?
I'm so
Yeah, every
tired.
once in a while.
Oh what? Y'all don't have no apps there? I got it.
All right.
I'm so tired of this phone.
What'd you get, an iPhone 30?
I wish, because then I wouldn't have to get a new one for 30 more years.
Zing.
Whatever the one that's current, 16 Pro.
I don't know.
Oh, look at you.
Oh
Fancy.
man, there's no reason to go get like a 14. I mean, if you're gonna get a new phone, you might as well get the newest thing so you can wait for.
What did you advance from though?
12.
Oh, okay, yeah, you
I mean, it's a big difference, but I think the 12 was like too far back. See, I think Apple builds stuff assuming people. This is obviously got nothing to do with releases, but this is phone releases. Apple builds stuff assuming you're buying every single one. So like the way you transfer data is not the same anymore, where you just upload to iCloud or whatever, and then I mean I guess you still can do it that way, but now it's like put your phone next to the other phone. Connect Bluetooth between the phones, and then it'll automatically transfer the data. And I think because my stuff was so old, not 2012, whatever, iPhone 12, I don't think it worked right. So, like, if I go to settings and click on, what did I click on? iCloud or something? Or battery? It was saying, like, the phone is still trying to download stuff. Look at that. Ongoing device setup.
Takes a while.
What's up?
Takes a minute.
Something's
You had too
wrong.
much stuff on your old 12, man.
That's real. How much time left you got, Jay?
I already deleted it. Too late.
I got an hour.
All right,
So
let's do it.
Let's get through releases, then we can start talking tariffs.
Oh, I thought you said terrorists.
Easy.
Well, I'm assuming you already talked about SB4 Navy, right? I mean, I guess
Nope.
it came out once before already, and now it's coming out again.
I didn't bother.
Yeah. What do you guys think?
Whack.
I got them actually.
The green ones are the best.
It's not whack, but I didn't
Green ones are
try. I
better.
mean, I think I might have put in one raffle.
Boring.
I mean,
I'm gonna treat them like a kid. Boring.
fam, look.
You make a top 10 list, George?
Of course not. No, honestly, I didn't make one. I've been working on my taxes however long. I'm stressed out right now. I didn't want to come here. I need to go and do taxes.
Well, talking about taxes is the perfect segue into our next topic.
Taxes are due in 6 hours, and I'm in a panic.
Bro, what did you come there for then, bro? Because you gonna go to jail, though.
I ain't going to jail. What are you talking about?
What? All right, what else come
I
on,
got enough
George?
time when I get home. Detroit Lions dunk low. I didn't know they were called that. But
People just make up stuff.
I skipped one. Cortez, Jackie Robinson.
No thanks.
Dang. Explain yourself.
Jackie Robinson won no crip.
I mean, honestly, he was a blood. He was from Pasadena.
Well, I'm not buying no Cortez Jackie Robinson. That's whack. Stop making Jackie Robinson sneakers and just make a Jackie Robinson hoodie or T-shirt every year. That's it. Sneakers.
Okie dokie. Titan Sabrina 2. That's a cartoon, right? Or...
Titan? I don't know what Titan is. You know what Titan is,
No,
Jay?
that's the store. Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
that's
store
right.
in the
Okay.
Philippines.
In the Philippines?
That's right.
Oh, that's right. They had the didn't they have some fours one time? Or was that somebody
Yeah.
else?
They had some I don't think it was Kobe's, but they might have done a Titan Kobe or a Titan.
They've done
a couple of Jordans before. They've done some collabs before. That's like the premier sneaker store down in the Philippines.
Yeah, them joints is clean.
Ayo. Monopoly LeBron.
All right, man.
I mean, what do you want? It's a Nike LeBron collab. What do you want? Let's see. What else we got here? You want me to say these DNA Vivid Purples?
I mean, you already said it.
Easter Basket Air Force One Low?
Nope.
Down Vans collab.
N-O.
Nope. Is that a no?
That's a no.
They're pretty
Oh,
boring.
you
Those are
said
pretty
N-O.
boring.
I thought you said
They're-
you know.
They're boring.
Yeah, boring.
Is that women's Pegasus new, or is that model been out?
That model's been out, but these are new colorways.
Yeah, two new colorways. Air Max 95 OG Neon.
Jay already copped
I honestly want the pink one instead. If I'm being completely honest, I'd rather have the pink one.
the pink foam.
Yeah, those pink ones are always nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
those are nice.
These are women's though.
I doubt. Yeah, I know. But I doubt they have a 13 and a half. So you could cop. No,
I'll try.
I'm cooked. Jordan Rookie of the Year low. Jordan 1.
Yeah, Jay talked about it. No thanks.
Okie dokie.
Nope.
Wasn't Jay on the show last time when we talked about Jordan the high?
Who knows?
It might have been.
I could have sworn
Might have been.
Jay was talking about the high, but whatever many years ago it was. Dang, Katie Easter 4 retro. Luke out. I think Greg hooped in those originally. Fam, I was so hype off that shoe. I remember I used to get it out the box like I was in high school and like
It was one of
set it next to
the
Fitz.
greatest.
And I don't think I ever wore it once.
I wore mine to the ground.
I used to put it next to Fitz like I was
So
in high
funny.
school as like a 35-year-old and I never wore it.
I ain't grow up.
What else? Book 1 Moss Point.
No, thank you. And I encourage.
Gosh.
What is that? Is that a location?
I don't know, but don't nobody buy them. I'm going back to my same rule I had about Booker last year. When the Suns got swept by the Timberwolves, I said you'll never catch me in a Booker
Yo.
all summer. All right, they didn't make the playoffs.
Yo,
You ain't
the
catching me.
Suns are so bad.
You ain't catching me in no Booker all summer long. You don't make the playoffs. So, period.
They
all
have,
right?
well, everybody knows.
You get swept last year in the Book ones, and now you don't even make the playoff in the Book ones. And I love Book. Don't get me wrong, and I love the shoe. Don't get it twisted. But I'm on a boycott of Books until the NBA season starts in October. I had enough.
Phoenix and Philly are the saddest franchises.
The
because they had
sorriest
such
teams
high
on the planet. Embarrassing.
They had such
feel like there's
aspirations,
another
and they were
one in
actually
that group
trying
too,
to
but-
win.
I hate them. Yeah, the Minnesota Vikings or somebody.
No, I'm talking about the NBA. What else? The Mellow 4, did that come out already, or is this
LaMelo 4. I mean, it's the low top version.
okay?
I like it.
Yeah, it's nice.
I like the
honestly.
model. The colors is crazy.
Yeah. The model is nice. What day are we going to?
We'll go to the 22nd.
Action Bronson, New Balance. Doesn't look like there's a picture on here unless it.
I've seen the pictures. I ain't mad at them, but I'm not copping.
Are those the V6s?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Amazonia,
It's not.
made in the USA. They're probably about to be $299.99. He said he talked about tariffs, right? There you go, right there.
Said he's gonna give us the lowdown.
Made in USA. Justin Timberlake golf collab.
Justin
Yo,
Timberlake.
those joints were what? Those were what? I think they were.
It says
$2.99.
made in
They were either
Italy. Nothing would
$1.99 or
surprise me.
$2.99.
Yeah,
Well,
they got to be more than $199.
Which ones? The Justin Timberlakes?
Yeah,
Yeah, F that.
They got to be more than $299 if they made in Italy. I mean, more than $199.
I
Justin,
think they were $2.90. I think they were $2.99.
Justin Timberlake golfs?
Oh, man.
Yeah, a lot apparently.
I think he plays in that the one that's at Lake Tahoe.
All right, man.
Listen to you, the like pro-am or whatever. They go out there and like Steph Curry goes and they shoot baskets onto a boat and throw footballs. I think he plays in that. I'm just telling you what you want from me.
In the Pro Bowl.
Clot Gazelle collab. You copy? Why? You're the Adidas king, no? What you? I mean,
It's not clot. No. They need to stop naming this stuff because to me, if you can't put a real touch on your collaborations, don't come to me with this. A Samba or a Gazelle with a high gum sole, what makes that clot? Huh? It's whack.
is that where we're stopping at? The next one that I would read is April 22nd.
I go through the 22nd.
All right, Booker, Blazer Low, Chevrolet collab.
I'm not mad at these.
Honestly, you know what's funny? You know how that one movie talked about like when people look like their dogs, it's called a Bowser? This shoe looks like a Chevrolet for some reason. When I look at it,
it's the colors. The colors make it look like that.
I don't think that's what it is. There's something about this that they like tweak the Blazer to like make it look like, oh, when you look at it, like, oh, Chevrolet.
Buddy,
Yeah.
that blue Blazer Booker, I might cop, but I'm not wearing it until October 31st.
Surf blue.
All right, like
Name is fire. Look like Cookie Monster.
I ain't got time for
Yo, you mentioned the Suns, and it looks like someone just farted because Greg has got this stink face.
Nah, I'm looking at Bookers. I'm upset with the Bookers. I'm sick and tired of the Suns. Like them cats is embarrassing. Anyways, I think that's everything. Let's talk tariffs, Jay.
Let's go.
You tell me what's going on the side of China. All right.
So I have some like it hasn't officially hit yet, but I think what's going to happen, just like making some predictions, and I don't even think these are bold predictions, is that you know how like Nike, what was it like when they switched that CEO, they were like, well, we're gonna make things more limited again because we clearly went down the wrong path of mass producing everything. So in order for them to accrue some of that cost back, they got to make things more expensive. So when we were talking shoes, maybe even this year, everything went up. What would you say? Everything went up what, like 10, 15 bucks, you think? Or do you think it was more than that? Or yeah, something like that. And so I think by nature, do you think another 10, 15, 20 bucks increase? What do you think that's going to do to the sneaker community? Anything?
I don't know, man.
I don't know if you follow. I don't really follow him, but I guess he shows up on my feed all the time. But that one cat who is like the suit guy on Twitter, you know what I'm talking about? Let me see.
You talking about that sneaker analysis man?
Nah, he does like suits and stuff. Like when people wear ill-fitting suits. Let me see.
Why? What'd he say?
Derek Guy, the dye workwear. I don't know what his handle is, but Derek.
Oh,
Guy.
I know.
Yeah,
he breaks down like
you've seen
fabrics and stuff
before,
and
I'm
like
sure.
how much this should cost, right?
Yeah. He did the breakdown of like all the like actual costs of what a shoe actually costs to make in China, how much Nike actually makes. So what he was saying is, He just did it like a round number to make it easy. So on a shoe that would sell at like Foot Locker for $100, he said Nike only makes like $5 to $10 on that pair. It costs like maybe $25 to make. They sell it to Foot Locker for wholesale, which is like 50%. So it costs $25 to make, and that doesn't include like shipping over here, insurance, and whatever. I don't know all the specifics, but by the time it gets over here and they sell it for $50, they only make like 5 to 10. Now, granted, if you're talking about $100 shoe, that's like an Air Force One or what's that Pete Carroll shoe? Air Monarch 4. So on a shoe like that, you're making 7 bazillion pairs. So you can afford to only make $5 to $10 per shoe. But reading that breakdown was interesting because I think people assume like, oh, a shoe is made in China for 4 cents and then they sell it for $270. And it like,
right.
He didn't necessarily like cite any of the work, or maybe he did. I don't know. But like, obviously he would know better than I would. So I just took it at face value. But it's kind of crazy. You sell a shoe for $100 in Foot Locker or Champs or whatever, and Nike only makes $5 to $10 off that pair. Now, he was saying even Foot Locker or whoever is not making a ton, even though they're technically selling it for double because they got all their own overhead and shit. But it's pretty crazy how, and I don't even think it's only a footwear thing. I think it's all outside of like luxury fashion where they probably really are making a bazillion dollars, but you only sell, like a Hermes bag. How many are you really selling per year as opposed to like a pair of Air Force Ones? But it was pretty interesting to read that breakdown because it literally was like one of those 4 Dummies books. It was like, this is for you idiots who think Nike sells a shoe for $200 and the production could come to the United States and the shoe would still be $200. And so he basically was saying like, if they made the shit here, the shoe price would be double at least.
So I got 2 things that I wanted to like bring up. So one is right now, ever since this whole like tariff thing, because it's like a battle, right? It's like China versus USA now, because like he put a pause on all the other countries,
Yep.
but he's doubled down on China, for example. But what's interesting is that what's popular in social media in China right now is that they are, man, it's crazy. The people who run these factories of these high brands that you were talking about, like George, like Hermes, for example, they've started coming out and making their own Red Note IG accounts, and they've started showing all these high-end brands that are being made in their factories. And what they're doing in retaliation is that they have now said, oh, we're just going to sell it direct to consumer from us.
Now, hold on,
we're
Jay.
no longer. This is crazy because like it's everywhere now.
But
like,
do you
over the
believe
past
that
3
though?
days, it's all over my IG. So that's the thing. I don't know, that's the thing is like I don't know what to believe because for the longest time we always said, oh, it's all made in the same place. It's just where did it get its final stamp, right? Like was it only missing the Versace logo and then it got shipped to Italy to get that final stitching done and they say it's made in Italy, but it's actually made in China and Vietnam. Right. Yeah. So like we all know that, like they do that for watches, they do that for cars, they do that for shoes, they do that for whatever, just to get like the final quality control check and whatever. But right now it's blowing up on China social media is that they're just like, oh, like enough is enough. We don't get the credit we deserve and we're not getting the money we deserve. So F it. We're just going to sell it to you. So hit me up. And we will sell you all this stuff for like a fraction of the cost. And I'm like, wait a minute. Are these just rep factories saying that? Or is this like legit? But who can tell now?
So let's go back to the original question, which let me just ask you this. All right. What will I don't know if the same effect on sneakers will it have the same effect on you in China, or will you still be paying the same price for sneakers?
No, so it's what's tricky about that is because those shoes aren't coming in from the States.
Right.
Those shoes are staying in here,
right.
Or they're being made in Vietnam, and so I don't necessarily see that big of a difference. It's more about, this goes back to like the whole, when we were talking back in the day about like the whole cotton issue.
Yeah.
It's more about like it's more about of a cultural feeling now, where it's like, oh, you're wearing Nikes, that's an American brand.
Oh,
Us in
so
America,
like the
us in America are not good right now. So it's more like a
oh, okay.
patriotism kind of thing, like, and but then that played a major part in it. Like that's why Li Ning and Anta and all those brands blew up during like right around that COVID time, is because there was a big backlash with the US, because the
Right.
US, because those companies were coming in saying like, oh, we don't support the use of, human labor in these parts of the area, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. And then they were like, oh, stop slandering. You know what? We're dropping Nike, we're dropping Adidas, we're dropping these brands, and we're switching over to other brands. I can see that happening again, which in my opinion makes China more self-reliant. It's like the double down is gonna affect sneakers more so, I think, for US based companies, because they're just not gonna rock with those brands anymore. And China is such a big market for sneakers, man. Like it's the second biggest market outside of North America. It's much bigger than Europe.
Yeah. And see, I will tell you this, if sneaker prices significantly rise, I'm out. Okay? Like I can honestly say that I'm out. You know what I mean? Like, and I mean by out in the sense of like, buying as much as we buy now. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
if sneaker prices actually rise to what people are predicting or claiming or, speculating or whatnot, that would be paying resale, what we consider resale price. You know what I mean? Like,
Facts.
and I need a reason to stop buying. Like it's just not worth it at this point in time. And plus, I would hope everybody would stop buying just to prove a point. Like I would really hope that it took a significantly like change and shift in the economy of people not supporting something like that. Like that it just the way it should be.
I think if something goes up 25%, 10 to 25%, I think people will swallow that pause. But if something's 50%, double or whatever, I think it's going to be a natural.
You think 25%? That would just be like, okay, 25% is a lot.
Maybe not everyone, but I think so. Well, think about now. People have already kind of swallowed paused inflation for the most part. Like we're still hearing that we're going to have, a recession from all the top economists. Would not surprise me if that happens, especially if the like tariff thing keeps getting pushed the way it is. But I think we've already kind of seen some of that on some things. You know what I mean? Like, look at what the housing market has done recently. Look at what I guess Hannah was kind of worried about the tariffs with the auto market, which is why we bought in November and didn't wait until the New Year or whatever. But I think people have already kind of now. I guess for the most part,
what you're talking about,
like eggs and bread and whatever.
Yeah, you're talking about needs though. Like I don't know how much of the public is willing to swallow pause for, wants. You know what I mean? Like gas, guess what? You do what you got to do. I have no choice. I got to get from A to B. So I'm going to suck that up. Pause. Housing, well, you know what? I want a new house. I have no choice. Like, you know what I mean? But I'm talking about sneakers. I'm talking about the overabundance of clothing. I'm talking about like a lot of the unnecessary things that people waste and spend their money on. Like, I think people will start taking less vacations. I think a lot of things will start, trickling down, especially.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about a recession in general. To me, I would have thought luxury shit would already slow down, and it's not. So that's why it's like, to me, I'm like, cats are still out there buying $600 t-shirts. Like,
well, and so that's the thing too, which I have a really hard time with. I have a really hard time with believing a lot of economists. I have a lot of, and not to say that they're wrong. I just have a really hard time with believing that type of stuff that's on paper, regardless of how they came to the conclusion. Because when I go outside, cats are standing in line to get into the Gucci store. I'm like, I'm at the mall and there's a line to get in Gucci. And I'm like, are you guys really this well off? Like, am I like, because I feel like I'm pretty well off. Like, am I not? Like, there's no way because these cats are in there walking out with Louis bags and stuff. And I'm like, come on, man. I see cats wearing Amiri t-shirts and I'm like, no way. Like, there's no way.
I think part of that is because it's easier to make money in 2025 than it was 20, 30 years ago. Like, look at all the people that are monetized just from YouTube or Instagram or whatever, like rappers you never heard of with a stack of money. Now, I'm assuming they get the money legally from shows or, being a local
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about regular people I see standing in line. It ain't like rappers with diamonds on.
Most cats wearing Amiri are like, social media people, rappers.
I see cats walking through the mall wearing Amiri, like Amiri regular T-shirts. And
I don't go to the mall, so maybe that's why. But I don't see people wearing that stuff.
Like I see people
social media, 100%.
But going back to what George was saying is that like we've already been dealing with these prices. I mean, look at what Jordan Brand did when they justified their price hike. They're like, oh, this is the not reimagine. What would they call it back then? Remember when they came out with the threes or the fours? It was like remastered. There we go. They're like, oh, remastered. We're using better quality materials. We're doing better quality checks. Oh, by the way, shoes went from 160 for Jordan 1s to 175. It's like people didn't even bat an eye. They didn't bat an eye.
So here's the thing with that, right? And I think at the time I was saying the exact same thing, but Jordan brands, and I won't say Nike, I'll say Jordan Brand. I'll stick to Jordan Brand. Jordan Brand's colorways, the abundance of sneakers and things like that, I think it didn't bother most people because people don't realize they don't buy as many Jordans as they really think they do, okay? Like, I would probably say in a full calendar year, what would you say how many Jordans you think we buy? A full calendar year, George? Maybe like 3? Like,
we counting the box or?
Well, you can count the box if you want, but how many do we actually potentially keep?
Oh, yeah.
Like, if I had to say to myself, Jay, if I said to myself, in a full calendar year, how many Jordans that I keep to own a full year? Maybe like 3, maybe 4. Like, it's not as much as like people really think. You know what I mean? There was a block of time where we were buying a lot of ones and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But like, even if you calculate the amount of ones, I go, yeah, I bought one in January. Then I bought another one in March. Then I got another in June. And then I got one in December. And you go, that's all I bought for Jordan Brand for the year. So now when you switch it to Nike now, Nike's a little bit different. I may buy a few Air Maxes and Dunks and something else that like, you know what I mean? So it's a little bit different for me. I could definitely say for a full calendar year for Nike, I'd probably buy anywhere from 10 to 15 a year, 10 to 12. And then Jordan Brand, anywhere from 2 to 5. And Adidas, probably around 8 to 11, maybe a year. So I buy probably a total around 40 plus maybe a year, a lot. I buy a lot of sneakers, okay? So then when the prices went up on when prices go up on a Jordan 1, I go, boy, these Sambas are looking really nice now. Like, right. Yeah, 125 for Sambas, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you start forgetting, like, oh, Sambas used to be 85. Now you go like, yes, 125 for a Dunk. That's right up my alley.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're all victims to that now.
And it is. And the thing is that we forego and forget the reason why the prices on something should be the way they are. Paying 125, 130, 140 for a Samba is insane. It has zero technology. There's nothing in it besides shoe. It's shoe. A Samba, a Dunk, and I've said this for many years, a Samba and a Dunk is essentially a Vans. Like, I couldn't imagine paying $100 for an old school pair of Vans that isn't a collaboration. It's insane. But Vans are right now about $85 at the store.
I just think that, like, Nike's already cutting, let's just use Nike for an example. Nike's already cutting production and raising prices to offset that, right?
Yep.
So what's going to happen when they got to raise prices now to offset taxes on top of that? Like, what you said, you're out. What's your cutoff? What determines, is it from what you used to pay? Is it from retail? Is it from what you think this this actual price should be. Like, there's a lot of factors when it comes to that. And
So
and as consumers, we are quick to forget how much things should have cost, and we're just like, oh,
so
I'm in.
here's the
Like,
problem.
I'll
Here's
pay
the
it.
problem with spending money. And I'll call Jordans and Nikes luxury goods at this point. Like, they're luxury goods now. Your Gucci and Louis, that's your elite goods now. Like, those are God level goods at this point. Okay. Here's the thing about prices going up and social media and ego that comes with this. It's a lot of ego for me or somebody at my age to still continuously buy sneakers like that. That's my like, yeah, I still got it. I got money. Like, I'm good. Y'all can't do this. I can do this. That's what that looks like today. Okay. Now, for me, if I said that price hike is going to get me to stop, it ain't because I can't afford it. It's because I'm just annoyed with it. Like, I can't sit around with this OG mindset about stuff and I'm sitting around paying $200 for a pair of dunks or something. Like, I can't do that. You know what I mean? And then as you get older, as we get older, you start to realize when you want to upgrade your life a little bit more. I am very happy. I don't want to say I'm content to where I am, but Rocio and I would like to buy another house. I never thought that in order for me, like me and Rocio, she sent me a house the other day. It's about $1.5 million. I never thought if I could afford $1.5 million house that it would be like 2 blocks from my current house. I thought paying $1.5 million for a home, I was on the hills. I was on the hills looking down on everybody else. No, $1.5 million house is right around the corner from my house, potentially in the same school district my kids go in now. That's insane. So you have to say to yourself, in order for me to upgrade my life potentially, I have to get rid of this stuff. Like, I have to say no to sneakers. I have to do this. And this is what's crazy about this conversation, Jay. What's crazy about this conversation is you, me, and George are sitting on hundreds of sneakers. We're not sitting on tens. We're not sitting on 20s. We're sitting on hundreds. If you, George, and I never bought a sneaker again for the rest of our lives, we'd be okay. Like,
Facts.
what we're talking about here is that we're just addicted and can't stop. Like, we're ridiculous people, okay? Like, so we really don't qualify for the ones who should really be discussing this because we're hooked no matter what. I can sit here, Jay, and tell you I'm not copping anymore, but you could probably look at my face and tell me I'm probably lying. Like, I'm probably lying. I'd probably still be copping. Like, I would hope that I would want to not buy anymore. So, I don't know. I think it's a ridiculous thing. I think, I could care less about Trump and everybody else at this point and what they think and feel and whatnot. My bigger concern is the future at this point. Like, for me, we're washed. I want to know what my kids are going to have to deal with, okay? Because
Yep.
if cost of goods and the cost of living is going as high as it's going to go, the way kids are built today, I don't know if they're going to be built to be able to take care of themselves. Like, I seriously don't know. Like, I don't know if my kids are going to be able to actually survive. Hey, son, when you want to go buy a car, are you going to actually be able to do so? I got no idea. So, who knows? Now, going back to the other thing that you talked
They'll
about.
be fine. It was the same thing with us. When we were in high school, we didn't care about nothing. We figured it out. No.
Yeah, but it wasn't this bad. Like,
In terms of what? Pricing or
well,
kids
and
kids are learning more these days than we learned. I feel like
they
about normal life stuff. Like when I was in high school, I feel like there wasn't much skill sets to prepare you to leave the house.
well,
There's more like talking to like my niece and nephew. There's more like what's the like not civics, but like stuff like money management and stuff like that.
That doesn't
to do with
matter.
Regular day life.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter anymore. The thing is, the reason why we were able to succeed where we are is because we grew up in a perfect era. The only distractions that we potentially had were drugs, gangs, violence, and video games. That was our only distractions. I can barely keep my kids focused on what they need to focus on, like school.
Yeah, their attention nowadays is divided into like a million different
That's the
avenues.
thing. Like, when you were in our age group, when we grew up, you had to make a decision. You go left or you go right. Today, your attention is so broken out in the many different ways, you may not even realize that you haven't even chose which direction to go into yet because you still watching YouTube all day. You still looking at Netflix all day. You still looking at your phone all day. You still got your brain occupied by so much that you don't got time to think about, do I want to go left or do I want to go right? That's why I praise a lot of kids that I know personally who are in school, who are doing much and who have these ideas and these goals. Like I have nieces and nephews who are like, oh, I'm in nursing school. I'm in this. Man, I'm gonna be a lawyer. Oh my gosh, thank God. You know what I mean? There are some kids with their head on straight. The problem is, I don't know if the majority are. These kids are being exposed to too many things way early. There's no reason why my son should be asking me if he could get a Gucci belt. There's no way. There's no reason why. He shouldn't know a Gucci belt exists. All right? Period. But they do.
Right.
These
But we were talking about this pre-COVID. Remember that? We were talking about like how like because people don't flip shoes here anymore. Like that's not really a thing anymore.
mm,
Like like people are flipping what you said, like high-end luxury. Like people are flipping go-yard bags. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
that's what people are flipping. Like but uh how the heck does a high schooler or a an eighth grader know what go-yard is,
It,
right? Like so it's crazy.
It's ridiculous. So that's my thing. I'm not confident in it. I'm hoping for the best and I'm doing my best as a parent. But at the same time, I don't know if our sins are going to ruin our future kids. Like, you know what I mean? I always say this to everybody. I said, we watch a lot of movies, we watch a lot of documentaries, and you see these countries and the way that they are. They're war-ridden, they're in poverty. Nobody ever says, how did they get here? They just look at those countries like, oh my God, it's filthy and dirty. It weren't always like that. It wasn't always kids walking around with AK-47s and living in poverty and things like that. It wasn't always like that. And I'm not saying the U.S. is headed in that direction. I'm just saying that, like, I don't know what the next 50 years are going to look. I'm going to probably be happy I'm going to be dead, all right? I don't want to think about it, all right? I'm only living to 89, Jay. That's all I'm going to. If I get to 90, I'm going to be very upset. All right. I'm out of here at 89. All right. Because I just don't want to be bothered with anymore. And, right now, like I said, you can't even fully advance I mean, I got my kids are like, oh, I take my kids to Miami, like to go. That's how spoiled and different our kids and generation are. You know what I mean? So
Right.
I don't know. Now, to go back to the other topic that you brought up about the social media and stuff like that, I don't believe any of it. I believe that people are taking advantage of the moment and they're scammers and they're trying to get stupid Americans to think like, oh yeah, China, these people are telling the truth now. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and buy this Gucci
Right.
bag. I knew it. Man, do not fall for it. That's like scammer 101. You take advantage of the moment. You take advantage of the moment. You see something that could work in
Right.
your favor.
It's the fad. It's the fad right now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the fad right now.
And
Capitalize.
and these people that are like on Chinese TikTok and social media, they're just on another level of smart. They look at dumb Americans who just want. And if I could trick this dumb American into thinking that like, yeah, you know what, I'm fed up with all this, forget it. I'm gonna sell you this Louis bag for 150. These dumb Americans would be like, finally, yeah, see what happens.
And
All
then now
right,
they rep
bro.
they rep their reps proudly now, right? They're like, see, look,
Yeah.
I got it for 150.
Yeah, now they like, look at this. Yeah, I got it from my plug. I got a connector in China. If you don't stop being a fool. You should try to reprogram yourself to not want any of that stuff. You don't need it. Like, come on, man. Like, what's funny is that
Well,
I know a lot of people who buy a lot of expensive stuff and they don't do expensive things. Like sitting
right.
sitting in the backyard drinking beer with your family while wearing a Chanel bag is the dumbest thing ever. And I'm thinking to myself, if you got a Chanel bag, shouldn't you be in Scottsdale sipping champagne with people? What are you doing over here in the hood drinking a Tecate? No, it doesn't make any sense. I can't. Like, I can't.
Well, I mean, I got one more point to say is that two more things. One thing is if George and you can't get undefeated fours, you know which rep person in China to hit up. So just let me know, and I got you guys.
We
But
may have to.
One more thing though. One more thing. So I think that this is really interesting though, because it goes back to like the factories and the fakes and all this stuff. It's like there's a reason why China gets a bad rep with fakes. It's because it's all made here. Like
Right.
if if like you know how everyone was talking about like, oh, Trump wants to bring factories and production back to the United States. You don't think that if sneakers were made in the States, you don't think someone would leak a mold or two for thousands of dollars and sell it to flood the market? Like,
Oh,
you got to be
100%.
kidding. Like, there's a reason why reps come out of here because the factories are here. Wherever the factory is where the reps are coming from.
Oh
So
yeah.
if the factories are done in, you got people jumping trains and hijacking boats in the USA to get sneakers. Like, you don't think someone's gonna leak a mold from a factory if it
Yeah.
was made in the States? You
I'm
got to
like,
be kidding
yeah,
me.
I'm like cats out here robbing trains for sneakers. Like, if you think that fakes wouldn't get developed here, if that started, like, come on, man. Like, I think I'm just more
That's what
in,
I'm saying. Is that like,
like, I love my country. I love everything about it and stuff like that. But sometimes it's the people that I get embarrassed by, and it's like Suns fans. I love the Suns, but I'm embarrassed by Suns fans. Suns fans are ridiculous human beings. Okay, like they don't. I can't stand Arizona fans. All right, with any sport, Cardinals, Suns, anything. Okay, Diamondbacks, I'm okay with D-backs fans. Some people here in this country, they're so caught up in trying to be right and so caught up in trying to get over and so caught up to trying to be better than everybody that they don't realize that there's no benefit to them. Like, there's no benefit to them whatsoever, and it's driving me nuts. Like, I look at this country as something that's supposed to build itself up together. I'm not looking to be better than anybody. Like, at this point, I'm looking to be able to maintain, be a great father, great husband, and be able to create a stable environment that for generations and generations. I'm not sitting around like, bro, I'm trying to create generational wealth. Bro, I'm just trying to get my son from A to B, get my daughter from C to D, get myself to Z, which is the casket, with a great retirement and a great 401k and life insurance and
at
all that stuff.
89? At
At
89.
89, I'm trying to get myself from A to Z and not leave my kids butt naked out here in these streets with nothing to live with. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. How much time
Hey,
you got
you got
left, Jay?
shoes. You got shoes for Cortez locked up.
Man.
So that's one thing off the list.
You know what's funny? These cats be like, I can't wait to pass them down. Buddy, do you got life insurance? Do you got health insurance? Like, you talking about passing your sneakers down. Do you got life insurance? Like, can your kid go to the doctor today? All right, like, shut up.
That's because we're all focused. We're all focused on the wrong thing, and I think social media had a lot to do with that because we're all trying to stunt. We're all trying to stunt for the gram. We're all trying to stunt on YouTube,
Bruh.
and you got people out here that can't feed their families, but they can afford the newest Jordans.
That there ain't nothing new about that though. That's been like
It's
That's true.
been like
That is
that.
true.
30,
It's
40 years,
it's
That's
been
true.
like
maybe
that.
longer.
That's
But
true.
I was happy when they were talking about getting rid of TikTok. I wish they would get rid of IG, TikTok. I wish all that would go away. We need a break for a year. Anyways, how much time left you got, Jay?
So I was thinking this because I only got about 15 minutes. But what we can do is let me go through my top 10 and then I'll hop off and then you guys can do the rest of your list.
All right. Well, George didn't do his, so I did one. So, go
I'm
ahead.
glad I'm glad things don't change. I'm glad things don't change. There's some things in life that are consistent. Life,
Ayo,
death, and George not
Not
creating a list.
cooperating.
ayo.
So let's go ahead and do it. We're doing top 10 things we would like to see changed in sneaker culture, I guess.
Change for sneakerheads in the change for the culture.
Sure, let's go.
So for all right, so for number 10, I got and some of these I was trying to rank it, but some of them are like they're ranked, but they're not ranked, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Like I wouldn't say that one is more important than the other. So one is like more opportunities for smaller brands, and I think that this is going to be harder now in today's economic climate
Right.
due to shoes being more expensive. You're going to see a lot of the small brands kind of getting pushed out. I feel like if retail prices are going to go up, but maybe they can try to price themselves out of that and we're on the cheaper side and more people can afford it. So I guess it could go either way.
Bro, we're gonna start wearing sandals and slides like in the Middle East. Like that's what's gonna happen.
Man,
Bro.
if you don't stop.
Yo,
I'm dead serious.
so I was in Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and I was like, what do the men spend their money on? Like outside of watches and cars,
Right.
because they're all wearing the same thing and they're all wearing sandals. I
That's
was
what.
like, why is there even an LV? Why are there like 20 LV stores within a two block radius when they're not wearing any of the clothes, right? So like they're not wearing any of the shoes and they're not wearing any of the clothes. So like what are people spending their money on? I was like, God dang, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
People probably buy all the leather goods and knickknacks and whatever else, though. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's guys walking around with man bags and their luggage and whatever else.
Yeah, I'm sure their attire is also
The
made by Louis, just
the
all
thing,
white.
the thing that was said about like smaller shoe brands, I don't even know, is like Clearweather still in business? Is Creative Recreation still in business?
Clearweather is.
Are any of those companies, that they may not be relevant in 2025, but are any of those companies still in business? I mean,
I think some of them are.
Yeah, they are.
Like I still get like newsletters and stuff from these like emails that I signed up from like years ago, but
Yeah, they're still around.
I think they're still around. I think
Not
they had to
Creative
like
Rec,
take a break
but
and like
what else you got?
did they
all right,
actually
another
fold
one is
business or what?
better regional availability. Like stop making shoes that are like only Asia specific or only in North America or South America or only in Europe. Like
Mm,
why are we still doing this in today's like with how accessible everything is and like sneaker resale? Like why are we still doing like, oh, this is only limited to Japan?
right.
Like why, I don't understand why we're still doing that. Obviously to create hype, which is another thing that I'm gonna talk about. Um, Next one is more affordable collaborations. Like why do collabs always have to be more expensive? Like why are we doing that?
I figure because both companies got to get a cut. That's what makes me think of it, but who knows?
Right? So it's like all collabs seem to be, $20, $50 more expensive. And then it kind of just like leaves a sour taste. And for a Jordan, for example, is already like 190,
Right.
and then for it to be a collab, it's 250. It's like, dang.
But that right there may be proof that we'd be willing to pay the prices if it go up.
Facts. Next one, number 7 is creative and thoughtful collaborations. Like I know we talked about, well, at least you guys have talked about like storytelling. It doesn't always have to be like some elaborate story, but I want it to like at least make sense. Like, let me just use the Nigel Fours for example. Like, I thought that was pretty decent. I like that. I like the packaging. I thought the box looking like a brick. I thought that it coming in like the Velcro strap. How the
Right.
bricks are packaged, how they're individually packaged.
Yeah, I like that.
All the concept lobsters, you know what I mean? Like how it comes in, and you guys were talking about this last week, how it comes in like the styrofoam box, and it comes like, I like a cohesive idea.
Right.
I don't want it to just be a collab that just comes in a regular box. I don't want it to be a collab where, I don't know, maybe because like some of the stories I find to be more creative and some of them I find to be so far-fetched and stretched out, right? Like there's some collabs, I feel bad now because I just praised the Nigel, but then there's some other ones where it's like, oh, it's a collab of, Jordan's flight jacket when he was on Letterman, and I find that corny,
Yeah.
right? So
I don't care about any of that stuff.
so yeah, so it's like I don't know why, like maybe I'm not consistent, but like some stories make sense to me and some are just like, what? That's it?
No,
Like that was the
I don't like
the
stories. I don't like
idea behind
stories.
this?
Yeah, I don't like stories for sneakers that are too personal either. Like I don't care that like this colorway is because your mom was she worked 3 jobs and used to be at home by herself eating cereal. I don't care about that. That's too personal for me. Like, what am I supposed to tell somebody? Yeah, this color is pink because his mom was a single mom and worked at the hospital. I ain't got time for all that. That's too personal for me. Like, just tell me a basic story. He used to go outside and shoot hoops. That's why this orange. Like, that's it. All right.
Number 6 is fewer colorway overloads. I felt like, for example, maybe like the Bookers, like man, it like he there's like it's excessive. It's like they find something and then they just milk it to death.
I don't know
But I
what
guess
type of contract Booker has, because he's got a Blazer collaboration, a Nike Blazer, and his signature sneaker, and he has about 15 colorways. Like his Nike contract
he
must be
might
one
have
of the
more
best
than that.
ever.
He might have more than 15 for the book ones. Like there's so many.
Yeah, his contract is one of the best for Nike.
Number 5, and I mean this is one of those ones that we talked about, Greg, that's like, is it possible? Is less influence from hype. Like I don't know what drives the culture forward, what pushes the culture forward. I mean, for a minute, it was during COVID, it was like only collabs can push product, right? And but
Yep.
then collabs are hype, right? Because it's like you make them limited, and then
Right.
that's what kind of drives it forward. And a lot of the times now, it's like the strategy is, oh, we got a new model coming out. It's got to be a collab first. We're going to collab it first. The first colorway is a collab. So that way people are interested. And
So,
then we release the GRs and then the stuff after that.
and I kind of understand that approach to it. I always get bothered when the GRs already existed and then everybody lose their minds over the collab. It's like that Adidas one.
Okay, fair,
That
fair,
Adidas, that
fair,
pink
fair.
one that just came out, that pink Adidas model, that model has been at Foot Locker and stores for forever. And then everybody lost their mind because it's pink. And I go, buddy, that model, to me, I have an issue with that. Like, if the first colorway is a collaboration, cool. The Nigel, the low top 4, the green one, when the Nigel,
Yep,
so if you want to call that a low
yep.
top
The
4,
RM, yeah.
that right there, you have to come out as a collaboration because it's a test model. A low top 4, we're going to have to test that out first. And if it's a collaboration, cool, I like this, and maybe I'll buy other ones. If you drop the GR of just that low top 4 first and then did a collaboration low 4, nobody would have bought the collaboration 4 at all because they've already developed a relationship with the model that they don't like it, So,
Right. Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
yeah.
I remember when remember how they did that rollout? Oh man, what was it? It was a couple of years ago. And then it was like all these like Jordan 1 collab. It was like a Jordan 1 mid collab. You remember how they did? But then that was the first time that they brought out the mid after so many years. It was that clot one, the white silk.
Oh, that's right.
Uh, and they did a bunch of them. They did like the Aleli May ones were out then. They had some other, but they were all Jordan 1 mids. And it was like, this is how they're going to try to push mids out this year, right?
Yep.
Is that we're going to collab the hell out of it first, and then we're going to release a bunch of just generic ones after that. Next one, and I think some places are trying to, but like make sneaker buying an event again, like more local sneaker events, like more get-togethers, more gatherings. And I know this was Nike's like direct-to-consumer idea, was like we're just going to cut out the middleman and we're just going to go DTC and we're just going to make everything online.
Right.
But like you lost a lot when it comes to like the community and the culture. I know you and uh oh gosh, you guys were talking about like whether you do campouts again, right? Like this is
Right.
the
Oh,
shoe I would do a
Don,
camp
yeah.
out for. Yeah, Don. And I'm not saying like I camp outs in terms of that, but like just events, right? I remember when Doe for Air Max Day used to always do the thing. They brought the Air Max 97 van out. You know, it was like a cookout. It was a barbecue. They
Right.
had live music. They had all this stuff, and it was like that made things memorable. You remembered where you were exactly when you got the Air Max Blue Royal re-release retro in 2016
Right.
when it came back out again. And it was just like a whole event. It was a whole ordeal. And I miss those. And so like that's what I'm trying to do with my group out here, is that like we're trying to do get-togethers. We're trying to do like group buys where it's like you show up, you know, we all get photos, we all get some drinks afterwards. And
Right.
it's like a more communal experience rather than just everyone isolated at home being internet nerds, right? Like it's a big difference.
And you know what? I'll tell you this. I do agree with that. But to me, and this is the issue with Arizona, Manor has a lot of events and stuff like that. But my
Yeah, Manor.
primary
Yeah, Manor does it.
my primary objective though is to make sure that I get the sneaker. I'm not coming to hang out if I don't get the
Oh,
sneaker.
facts.
Like,
Facts. Yes.
so
Yes.
it's like, if it's like a 50-50 that I'm gonna get the sneaker, I'm not coming to your kick out and hanging out with nobody if I took a L. I'm going home. All right. So if you got enough sneakers for everybody, then cool. You can have a kick out, a cookout, or at least let us know, like, hey, there's only 85 pairs of sneakers. The first ones that get here, something ahead of time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, anyways.
I mean, and the next three are kind of like lumped together, but this is more along the lines of like the impossible again. It's more stock for popular releases, man. Like if you know the undefeated fours are gonna be the hottest shoe this year, 500,000. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
remember back in the day, what was it? A couple years ago when they re-released the Concords. Remember how they said 1 million pairs?
Yeah,
They still all sold out.
that's a
They
fact.
still all sold out. I remember I still couldn't get a pair, and you were laughing. You were like, "Come on, Jay! Like, how did you not get a pair of Concord 11s?" Like,
Yeah.
1 million pairs still sold out. If you made 500,000 pairs of undefeated fours, George probably going to get like 300,000 of them.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna sell out, right? So
Right.
why not just create I mean, there's certain pairs, yes, like maybe like I don't know, maybe a collab or whatever. Like you can't make 400,000 Travises, but you could probably still sell them out even if you did.
Right.
So I think that's one, is that like just make, what's popular, what's gonna fly, just make more of them. Like why limit it? Remember when Vanessa Bryant was like, "Oh, we're gonna make Kobe's again," and the first drop was only like 20,000 or like 10,000 pairs, and people were like, "Is this what you meant, that Kobe's are coming back out again? Like this doesn't make any sense."
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Right? I mean, it's a little bit better now, but that first run was like real bad. And then next one is like affordable resale prices, and I guess this goes with
That's something that
I
can't
guess
be
this
controlled.
Yeah, it can't be done, but it's like I guess this is something that goes with more stock. These are all kind of tied together, right? Like the more stock something is, the less something might be.
Right.
And then number one is like just fair and accessible releases. I don't know whether that means, I know every company is saying we got to do like bot elimination, but it's like there's still, in this day and age, it's like it just seems silly that I can't give you my money. And we've talked about this before. It's like I can't give you my money to buy this pair of shoes, even if it is $280. Let's say you are asking $399 for a pair. For the undefeated fours, we're gonna say, you know what? It is what it is, $299. If you made 400,000 pairs, I guarantee you those will still sell out.
Of
At
course.
$299, that's what I'm saying, is that like why we don't need to play any games anymore. Like we've all been, buying sneakers for long enough. We know how bots work. We know how the sneaker draw works. We know what kind of gimmicks of bot protection and everything, and like all the captchas and all these things. It's like when you guys used to run your sneaker service and all these things. Like we've already been down the gamut of what to our workarounds, how to cook. Yeah, like we've already worked around all these things. Like we know it all. We've been through it all. We've seen it all. Let's just call a spade a spade. If there's this is how we're gonna do it. Like I just don't like all the games anymore, and it just seems silly. Like it's tiring. It's exhausting. I'm 42 years old. I ain't got time for any of this stuff anymore. Like how you were telling your story, how you were watching, I don't know, softball or whatever for the first Travis release, and you were like screaming and yelling and grabbing the fence and shaking it and stuff like that. It's so funny. Every
Oh
time you
yeah,
tell that story,
it was that Union one.
Oh, was it the first Union?
Yeah, the first Union.
You know that story. That scene in Terminator 2.
Oh, when the
is
fire.
Like,
I was so heated.
When she's grabbing the fence and then the nuclear like
That
explosion
bomb
just
goes
like
off.
blows her. Yeah, it's like that's just how that's. I don't know why, but that always like reminded me of you when you were like grabbing the fence and like you were just like screaming in the air and stuff. Like
I'm like, yeah,
I'm
man.
just sick of the games, man.
Yeah.
I'm sick of the games. I'm just sick of like all this stuff. Like, just make it equal, or just be honest, straight up, and be like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I had to take care of the homies. It's another topic we've talked about. If I own a store, my 50 homies are getting pairs.
They're getting
Like,
pairs.
It is
period.
what it is.
I don't care what nobody say. Like, them,
It is
they
what
lock.
it is. Like, so those are my top 10. I know a lot of them were kind of like blended together, but like that's my wish list, and it's like I think more this than retail prices will turn me off towards sneakers.
Huh.
Like, it's just exhausting, man. Like, it's like, but then like we said it earlier in the show, we will take a break for 2 months, and I feel like, kind of stopped. And then the next thing you know, Grace opens the door and there's like 6 pairs of shoes waiting at the front door, and I got to come up with an excuse and be like, "Oh, Greg sent these to me, or George sent these to me from the States."
I'm currently
as a peace treaty. It's a peace treaty between the countries.
I'm currently
don't get on here saying you lying now.
I'm currently retired right now.
Oh, all right.
So, and I've been retired for pretty much the entire year, but I got pickups. So
You retire like LeBron keeps talking about being retired. It's like every month he flip flops.
dang, I wish you could hear my list. You got to go.
I got like 2 minutes. You can.
I wish you could listen to mine. You want to just get off now then?
All right, hold up.
Yeah.
Hold up. I think I'd rather end it right now before I hear any of it.
All right.
And then that way I don't get all triggered and have my kids way out in the hallway.
Because my list is dramatically
kids way
different
out
than
in the
yours. So
Is it really?
dramatically.
All right, I'm gonna have to leave it in the comments then.
Nope. Sounds
Greg's
good.
list is get free shoes from people.
Nope. All right, Jay, I'll let you go, man. I know you got to get back to work. You gotta, lead the future out there. Though.
I gotta lead the future. And talk about teach these kids how to get some undefeated 4s.
Congrats on creating missionaries.
Bet.
Yeah.
For sure. We teaching the good book. We teaching the good book out here.
All right, Jay, I'll hit you up,
red
man.
book.
About the white
good
underwear.
Little red book.
Appreciate you coming on,
All right,
man.
man. Hey, man, it's been a minute.
I
Miss
know.
y'all.
All right, I'll hit you up later.
Georgie Porgy.
All right,
Georgie Porgy, miss you, baby.
All right, bro.
All right, I'll hit you up later.
Later.
Yo, what's gonna happen when I quit it? If I quit it, is it gonna is it gonna mess up your recording though?
Nah, you'll be good.
All right, I'm just gonna hit leave then.
Cool, sounds good.
All right, miss y'all.
All
Fam.
right, later.
All right, later.
Bye.
You want to turn that off or you don't care?
Nah, we good. All right. Dang, that light bright on you.
Hey.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and say my list. And since we already looked in directly at the camera, since we had somebody on, I'm going to go ahead and say my list. And I'm talking to you, the general audience at this point.
I feel like I'm in a submarine with these on, underwater.
Give me a headache listening to that. That's why I didn't wear a hat today, because I was like, dude, I can't wear no hat in these anymore. All right, here's my top 10 list of things that I would like to see changed. So I'm talking to you directly to the listener into this camera since we already faced this direction and Jay already left. Number 10, I got no more basketball, football cleats. All right, I ain't got time for that. That's stupid. All right, you got NFL players out here playing football in LeBron cleats. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm over that. And you know why they do that is because they don't have enough. They don't put enough focus on your NFL players. And if there's no reason why Saquon, who is the best running back in football, why Saquon isn't out there playing in Saquon cleats. He's over there jumping over people backwards in LeBron cleats. And then Nike is advertising LeBron cleats. If y'all don't stop, that's what I want to see change. Number 9, I mean, honestly, I got prices at this point, but I really don't care because it ain't gonna happen. So yes, I like to see better prices, but it ain't gonna happen. So who cares? Number 8, I got no more sneaker blogs and social media. Nice Kicks, get them out of here. Get them geeks out of here. I don't want to see no more concept pages. I don't want to see no more leaks. I don't want to see nothing. They have all taken the excitement out of sneakers because they want to sit there and show me what's coming out in 2027. I don't care. Stop it. All right? Get rid of those pages. All right? Number 7. What I got for number 7? Make basketball sneakers again. You guys may think that Nike and Adidas and all these brands are making basketball sneakers. They're not. They're making basketball sneakers, but only for point guards and shooting guards. We keep talking about like Anthony Davis and people like that getting hurt because they're out here hooping in Kobe's. Well, if you go into the sneaker stores, if you go online, the only basketball sneakers that exist are low tops and mid sneakers. We used to have specific sneakers for specific people. There used to be David Robinsons. There used to be Tim Duncans. There used to be Barclays. There used to be Karl Malones. There used to be actual sneakers for people who played positions. There is Anthony Davis can't go buy a sneaker. Remember those Statue of Liberty Hyperposits we bought? There used to be a Hyperposit Statue of Liberty that used to be almost an actual gold dome boot. They don't exist anymore. Make basketball position sneakers again. If you play power forward in AAU, you should be wearing power forward sneakers. Cats out here hooping in Kobe 6s. Stop it, all right? Number 6, stop quitting on ideas. Like Nike every single year comes out with something new and you go, you know what? This sucks right now, but it doesn't mean the second iteration of it can't be better. They come out, like I'm actually surprised that Vapor Max is still around. Vapor Max being still around is honestly surprising because most of the other ideas that Nike come out with, they give it a shot for one time, they realize the public don't like it, and they don't do it again. You don't got to give up on it. Come out with a second version, a third version, a fourth version. Now, if it don't hit off on the third or fourth version, cool. Discontinue that idea and move on. There was 0 reasons for Shocks to not exist anymore. Shocks right now come out in retros. Hold on now. When Shocks first came out, the marketing and everything, it had our attention. Now, when you actually bought Shocks, the most uncomfortable thing you've ever put on your foot. But that doesn't mean the next iteration can't be better. And then the next one can't be better. They just was like, yeah, these are uncomfortable, and they didn't really head off like we wanted to. The runner, yes. The basketball sneakers, no thank you. Get better at it. That's all I'm saying. So that's my number 6.
I understand what you're saying. The Rezig didn't need a second version.
The what?
The Rezig.
What the heck is that?
The Reebok Zig shoe.
They could have, why not?
Buddy, the Rezig, Shocks didn't need a second version. Rezig.
Why?
Buddy.
Why? Why not?
But,
you just give up on it and go to something new?
No, but Ultra Boost, it makes sense why you make 4 or 5 Ultra Boosts because it was good.
Why don't Reebok still have DMX anymore? There's no reason to get rid of it.
The honeycomb was fake from like the second iteration.
No.
It was like
No. The honeycomb you're talking about is Hexalite. That was out before DMX.
Oh.
Then they came out with DMX.
I thought you were talking about
and
that.
DMX was like, holy crap. There was nothing more comfortable than DMX at the time.
Got it. I thought you were talking about Hexalite.
No. So why stop it? They just stopped.
I mean, who knows? Maybe production costs were high or something. I mean, who
Figure
really
it
knows
out.
why cats do anything?
Number 5, I got like actual sneaker tours. Now, this may be a little bit different than what Jay is talking about, but it's around the long lines. It's around similar lines of what he sort of discussed. He talked about having sneaker events. You know, Nike should be going to like all the major cities throughout the year and having these large event pop-ups for sneakers sometime. Booker has about 25 colorways. Nike should have been in Phoenix for a big event to drop a special colorway Booker. They dropped a special colorway Booker at Art Basel in Florida. He's from Detroit. It doesn't even make any sense. So to me,
not Detroit, but Michigan.
Michigan. But to me,
Grand Rapids, I think.
Nike, Adidas, all these brands should be having full events in a city, a tour. You load the bus up with the new Anthony Edwards, and you go to the next city.
I thought you meant like tours at the headquarters, because that would actually be kind of tight, too.
Well, can't you do that, though?
I mean, okay, listen. When you go on a tour at like Ford Factory or something, obviously they got like museums and stuff set up. When you actually go watch the workers working, you only see a limited amount of stuff. So I guess I could see how they wouldn't take people in the innovation kitchen or something, but that'd be kind of tight.
Well, I mean, I feel like Nike might offer something like that, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I have no idea.
I've never looked into it, but yeah, they might.
Yeah, but
I just feel like
I mean, like
everything with Nike is like a private. I'm saying the feeling or the what's the word I'm looking for? The like you get the sense that everything with Nike is like off limits.
Nike acts like they
like a private golf club or whatever.
Back in the day, cool, but stop now. All right, social media has ruined your anonymity. Is that what it's called? Your privacy. If people are able to pretty closely predict the sneakerway colors of a sneaker that comes out in 2027. You got no secrets no more. You're no longer that top tier level of security anymore.
Well, yeah. So along with that is it's not being leaked from the what's the best way to say it? It's not being leaked from the
yeah, it is.
The design side. It's being leaked from the production side.
Yeah, it's being leaked by somebody. Yeah.
Right? No, I know. I'm saying it's not being leaked by like the people in the U.S. in the innovation kitchen.
I wouldn't put it past them though.
No. Think about in Vietnam or China or whatever. All you got to do is slip a little bit of money to the cat and he'll take a picture for you in the factory.
But you can slip a little money to the cat here in the U.S. and they'll give you a little something.
Not someone who's already making $500,000 or whatever at Nike for their job. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know if people make that much at Nike.
The person who's designing the sneakers is making a lot of money.
I don't think so. Huh?
Where do you think the money goes? Like, of course they are.
I think a sneaker designer probably makes anywhere from, and I feel like I'm being generous, 140.
Nah, you're tripping, bro.
You think a sneaker designer at Nike makes 500,000?
Like Jason Avar or one of the dudes that's actually designing like
Kobe's
or LeBron's or whatever. Yeah, they probably make millions. What are you talking about? You think they make $100,000 a year to design a shoe at Nike? Like the cats who work like what's the one who worked with KD?
Oh no.
Chin? What's his name? What's the KD guy's name?
Like if you're talking about like a Tinker Hatfield and them cats like that, okay, cool.
I mean, they're all pretty much on that level when you're talking about the top guys. Yeah.
Nah.
Yes, they are.
I could be wrong. I know nothing. Okay?
I don't know why you thought they made peanuts.
I mean, I think they at max 200. Like,
nah.
I mean, what do they get?
Not Jason Eric Avar.
What do they get? A percentage of sales?
Oh, I don't know how it
like,
works.
do they get points? Like, I just find it really hard to believe that their base salary is $500,000. It probably should be.
Stop saying like 500. I just said a big number. Who knows if that's what it is? I'm sure, like you just said. Yeah, I bet Tinker Hatfield makes it. That's different. They're all that level. All the main guys are his level. Like, I don't know why you would think that a company with that. Like, look how much money they spend on their headquarters. You think them cats ain't making money?
I know cats are making money. I don't know if those cats are making money.
All right, buddy. I think there's a lot of underestimation about what people.
That seems really high.
People that record podcasts and stuff have $1 million deals with Spotify and whoever else. Like, there's no way. How's it different?
It's just different.
No, it's
not the same.
No, it's not. If the person who works for Nike is designing all the LeBrons,
that's different. Hold on. That's different. If you're the sole person responsible for all the LeBrons, then that may be a little bit different. I'm not talking about the guy who made the GT Cut 6, and he made the GT Cut 4. And then he also worked on the Kobe 3.
Leo Chang was the one.
I don't know if that person is the person that's making the GT Cut and then the Stussy collab. I don't know. Like I really don't think so. But I could be wrong. Yeah, I know nothing.
I think you're tripping.
I could be.
It's 2025.
But like I said,
people doing remedial work
I could be wrong.
$100,000 these days.
I would maybe go $225 to $245 a year, but that seems high to me. And I could be wrong. I know nothing. All right.
Yeah,
and like I said,
I think you're tripping.
That's my number 5. I got sneaker tours on the list. Nike should be able to go do a full 20 tour bus, because when I went to Nike,
Oh, you mean that they're going on
yes,
tour?
they're going on
All right.
tour.
I couldn't know what you meant by
No,
a
no, no,
tour.
no. I meant they go on tour. Like,
Got it.
I remember when I went to Nike in New York, I thought it was so
Like you
dope.
want them to do pop-ups everywhere.
Yeah, I thought it
Got
was
it.
so dope when I walked in Nike and they were like, hey, they had all the brand new LeBrons out and you could try on a pair of LeBron and shoot hoops in there and see if you like the shoe. I thought that was fire. To me, Adidas, all these brands, Adidas should be going on a countrywide tour. They're going to stop in your city and you can put on a pair of Anthony Edwards ones and hoop and hang out and do stuff at Anthony Edwards. Yeah, you got to give them back. Sure, cool. And then go to the next city, or you can buy them. Like, to me, that to me is dope. Yo, you want to come try out the new books? We're going to be at the park. You know, Nike's going to have some food trucks invited, pop up, some live music, something, and books for everybody. You can buy them, or you can try them on in hoop. They'll have basketball hoops, like whatever, something. That to me is fire, all right? So that's what I got for number 5. Number 4, I got yearly signature sneakers. I'm sorry, the book one has been out for way too long now. The Anthony Edwards one has been out for way too long. I remember when signature sneakers came out every February. You had the pair that was coming out for the year, and then All-Star break, you got to see what the new signature was going to be, the new Jordan, the new whatever. It should come out every single year, which means that these brands need to eliminate so many colorways. The book itself should have a max of 6 colorways. 2 of those colorways should be Suns related, and then the rest could be personal things to him. There is no reason for Booker to have freaking Forrest Gump.
Well,
Come on.
so here's the thing. Something tells me that if you're making a Booker 1, the Booker 2 design is already in the works when the one comes out.
You already know we know that.
No.
Yeah,
Let me make my point. So my point is, if you're releasing the 1, the 2 has already been designed. So maybe the 2 stunk and he didn't like it, and so they kept making more colors of the 1.
Now,
that's possible.
Now, that is possible because the Anthony Edwards 2, we've saw 3 different versions of the Anthony Edwards 2. Now, they've officially landed on one version of the 2 because, like I said, I feel like Adidas put out both samples of the 2 and we destroyed them online and destroyed them on podcasts, and they took forever. They took longer to do so. I do think that is a possibility. But at the same time, I'm sorry, you're going to have to roll this stuff out faster because you lose interest in the next version of it, especially let's go like a Booker. I'm so upset with the Suns right now. I may not even want to buy a Booker 2, all right? Suns fans will and stuff like that. Anthony Edwards 2, you've put so much energy and marketing into the 1 that, man, if you don't come correct with the 2, I won't give it a shot. Like, you got to come out yearly to me. That's just me. Anthony Edwards got about, what, 25 colorways? Lows, highs? He got a grip.
We're saying that as people who grew up with the Jordan came out every All-Star break.
Fam. We also grew up with when the 11 first came out. The 11 came out in Concord. It came out in the North Carolina colorway.
Yeah.
And then it came out in black red.
I get it.
That was it. Yeah. And then cool gray eventually. Like, stop. All right. So that's my number 4. Yearly signature sneakers. Every year, not every 2 to 3 years. All right. Number 3, like I said with the cleats thing, focus more on NFL signature sneakers, trainers, because like I said before, none of us have ever said that trainers are unwearable anymore. I still can wear a trainer today. I say basketball sneakers are unwearable. Trainers, to me, I can still wear them joints. Focus more on the athletes. The NFL players are way cooler than than NBA players. Period. All NFL players are way cooler. The sport is way more entertaining than basketball. Basketball in the NBA right now is so whack, okay? And then every single player in the league right now, if they just a tad bit unhappy, is trying to figure out where they're going to go next every single year. Fam. Justin Jefferson, Saquon Barkley, Nakua, you got your Amon St. Brown, you got both running backs for Detroit, you got legit cool Tyreek Hill, you got cats that I think they're cool, I want to buy their stuff. Fam, I don't want no Giannis. I don't want that anymore. I don't want no Curry. I don't want no LeBron. I don't want no Trae Young.
I don't think anyone ever wanted a Curry.
You know what I mean. So focus. So that's the thing. That's what's crazy. You put Nike and Adidas and all these brands put so little emphasis on their NFL players that the NFL players are out here making custom cleats, and Mosh is out here making custom Grinch cleats and stuff. Yo, here's my football cleat. Can you make it look like a Pippin? What?
I think
that's insane.
I think we've always known though that NFL players were the corniest of like the athlete groups.
No.
Yeah.
Well, maybe back in the day, not now.
No, now.
NBA players are the corniest.
You just got done talking about NFL's players are the ones wearing the custom cleats. You don't see NBA players doing that. You don't see. There are some MLB players who do it, but not to the level like that.
Hold on. You're talking about two different understandings and two different eras.
Part of the same thing.
No, sports. So let's talk about NBA players now. It don't matter how old, tall, skinny, fat, little. All of us had the thought of one day we want to play basketball and be in the NBA. A lot of us never played football because it takes a different type of player to play football.
Yeah.
So that's different. So we always gravitated more towards
baseball.
We gravitated more towards the sports that we actually legit felt like we could participate in. Football players are completely different. Now,
yeah, but most people grew up playing baseball, so baseball or basketball.
And that's fine. Now, football players, we talked about it. Today, and I've changed my stance on that. Today, if TJ Watt came walking down the street.
You're saying you wouldn't know what he looked
like. No, I said I wouldn't, but you know what? Today I would. We recognize way more NFL players. No, I'm saying we recognize a lot more NFL players today than we did in the past. An NFL player used to have to wear his full uniform on a TV commercial. But who the heck is that? Even to this day, they still do it. I'm watching a Little Caesars commercial, and Kittle is in his full uniform in a Little Caesars commercial. Why do you? It's a Lowe's commercial. It's a Lowe's commercial to buy paint, and Dak is wearing his Cowboys uniform to buy paint from Lowe's.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Why even use Dak unless you're going to have a football angle to the commercial? There's no point. You know what I mean? Like, what's Dak going to be able to sell you? I'm saying.
Well, it's NFL. It's NFL.
I'm saying.
Yeah, I know, but it's NFL season. I don't want to see.
Anthony Edwards couldn't sell me Subway or whatever else, and he's way more famous than Dak. He ain't selling me that stuff.
Anthony Edwards is not more famous than Dak Prescott.
Not in Dallas, he's not, but in the United States of America, yeah, he is.
You think Anthony Edwards in the United States of America is more popular, more famous, more known than Dak in the U.S.?
Edwards was just on the team that won the gold medal in the Olympics. Like, that got way more views than anything Dak was doing.
Now, if you would have said Curry, if you would have said Curry, yes.
Well, of course.
Dak? I don't know about that.
I think he is.
Actually,
matter of fact, here, look. Let me. This is gonna be a stupid example, but let me see who got more Instagram followers.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts. And that's Anthony Edwards isn't a fair example. He may get more followers just for being a thought on social media with having baby mamas. So.
That's part of being famous.
No, I don't know if that counts.
What do you mean that doesn't count?
Okay, fine. Dak may have more followers because they hate the Cowboys so much.
Who's more famous, Lionel Messi or Tom Brady?
Okay,
Messi, right?
That's fine.
Messi,
but that's
right?
but that's international level. We said the U.S.
Exactly.
No, let's stick to U.S.
I get it, but
let's stick to U.S.
I understand that, but my point is, you go look at Messi on Instagram. He probably has 1 million followers.
Everybody,
all right, you think Brady's the most famous football player of all time, and he's a nobody.
Hold on, who are you looking up? You looking up Ant?
No, I already looked up Dak. I can tell you already what Dak has.
And I don't even know what Anthony Edwards' thing is.
Anthony Edwards has twice as many Instagram followers. Dak has 2.2 million. Anthony Edwards has 4.6.
I guess.
I'm telling you, he's more popular. And like you said, he might be because he's a thought, but that's part of it. That's what people do.
Yeah, but also it's a little bit different. Dak wasn't as known in college as much as Ant was, or high school like Ant. He built a lot of his following probably literally starting in high school all the way up to now. I don't think that's a fair comparison. Now, if you would have did like Bam, hold on.
You were talking about the quarterback.
Now, if you would have said Bam Bato, whatever his name is, yeah, Bam and Dak may be a better comparison. Bam probably got like 1.5 million followers.
Think that's even. I wouldn't say that though because what does Bam do on social media? All he is, he's dating what's her name, right?
But Ant doesn't do much on social media though. Most of Ant's stuff on social media is making fun of him. Anyways, I don't know. Like I said,
he's out here.
Like I said,
all right.
Like I said, these brands need to focus on Pat Mahomes is one of the greatest football players we've ever seen in our entire lives. You know he has a signature sneaker? He's like on his 4th one. Nobody knows.
Well, no, people know because they see the commercial, but other than that, yeah. Well, he signed with the wrong brand. Let's put it that way.
Number two.
Nobody wants that nonsense.
Number two, stop seeding people. Stop giving people sneakers for free.
That's never going to happen.
Like that, it'll never happen, but stop. No. For what?
Dang, these joints only got
These cats,
4% stars.
These cats ain't doing nothing for you. They don't do nothing. Stop seeding sneakers. To me, that's probably a stupid one at number two, but it is what it is. And number one for me.
No, honestly, in regards to that, I actually wonder if brands give do brands give that guy at Nike who's the one sending those notes out, do they give them a marketing budget? Not a marketing budget in terms of monetary, but like a marketing budget where they're like, here's 100 pairs, send them to whoever you want. Like, actually wonder.
They probably do.
If them cats do that, or if they just can just do willy-nilly whatever they want.
I don't know.
We might have to ask Ruby about that.
Look.
Do the people who seed sneakers at various brands have a marketing budget or whatever you want to call it, an allotment of 100 pairs or whatever? Or can they just ask for whatever and mail it out to people? That's actually a good question.
I don't know. I feel like I've asked somebody this before and they explained it to me.
I mean, every brand's probably different too, but
I don't know. Like, I just don't want to see nobody get seated anymore. You out here, you a part of the culture. You out here. What you need a pair for? What you gonna do? Get on your little YouTube and tell a story for what? And then it don't do nothing. Like, anyways. And number one goes to the sneaker tours that I said I want to see brands do, like countrywide tours. It's just simple interaction. I've talked about this on a podcast literally for about 8 years.
I think tour is the wrong word because I'm thinking you saying like go to like do a tour at their facility.
I'm talking about like a...
I know what you're saying. Just like pop-ups, nationwide pop-ups.
Fine, nationwide pop-ups, but it's a tour. You get on a tour
I understand
bus.
what you're saying, but I think when you say tours, people are going to think like me and you go to Nike and tour Nike.
I don't give a shite about touring inside of Nike, to tell you the truth. I'm not going to do it in there.
In the campus might be tight, though.
Fam, just get me 50% off white. Like, I don't need to see like, bro, this table.
Who cares about that prop? But I guess my point is, who cares about the shoe? Like that's the whole thing. You say going to Miami and you're not buying shoes. You're going for the experience. Same kind of thing. Go to the Nike campus, see it. Like, oh, this is cool.
Number one, it falls along the lines of sneaker pop-ups, sneaker tours, whatever you want to call it. It's interaction with the people. I've talked about this numerous times. You can keep your brand popular. You can keep your brand up by simple likes, simple replying to the comments. These brands like Nike, Adidas, Louis, all these brands get added and tagged in social media probably thousands of times a day. Not saying you got to respond to every single person, but that single interaction means a lot more to a lot of people than they think, that they realize. I've seen Nike, like, put a comment here and there or a like. Man, these cats try to eat off that like or comment for like, these cats be like, bro, Nike sees it. Nike recognize it. Thank you, Nike, for the like. Thank you, Nike. These cats eat that garbage up.
I think that goes for all corporate.
That's what I want to see. I want to see more of that interaction. Now, I can't say that I'm the best at it because I don't respond to a lot of y'all in the comment section. I respond to all DMs, but in the comments, I rarely do, and I'm going to try to get better at it. My wife always gets mad at me about it. But these brands, fam, I've said this numerous times. We do all the marketing for these brands.
Well, so here's the difference between you not replying to stuff and a corporation not replying to stuff is they can pay someone just only to do that. Whereas you and me have a day job, a side job, and all these, like, I don't think people understand how thin I'm spread. Pause.
People don't understand how I'm spread to the max.
If someone wants to give me $200,000 to just respond to DMs all day long or whatever. Yeah, I mean,
$200,000. Somebody give me 50,000. I do an episode daily.
Stop.
This podcast will have a daily episode.
Yeah, but you're not doing that for a single job. You still would have to be another job if that's your
but an additional 50,000 income, fam. Wake up to sneak this every morning.
You can't because you got to go to your other work.
Wrong. I will now switch my shift schedule. I will switch my schedule, and then that morning I'd wake up at the same time I do now. Good morning, sneak this. Sneakers this morning. And every day for additional 50,000 on top of what I already made.
I'm not, just so everybody knows, I'm not moving for unless it's six figures and
you lying.
And what do we got?
They gave you 50 and gave me 50
and benefits.
You'd be up. You'd be up. Yeah, you would. Then good. I'd say give me his 52. I'm here. 100,000. Wake up, sneakers. Good morning. Good morning, Sneak This every day. Anyways, like I said, more interaction with that. We do most of the marketing for all these brands. When you post your fit pics, who do you tag? When you post on social media, who do you tag? When you sit there and do your sneaker review videos, who are you reviewing for? You do all the work and you get none of the interaction, none of the anything like that. All right? So either stop doing all the work for these brands, or these brands need to start showing you guys a lot more love for all the effort and stuff that you guys put into it, all right? I see Mike Rich and cats going into stores, buying from stores, and like, yo, this was on the shelves today. Fam, Mike Rich should have a deal with Snipes, Foot Locker, Champs, all these stores. Mike Rich is the one that's letting us know what's inside these stores. Sorry, we do all the work. At least you could do is say, appreciate you, Greg, for doing a sneaker podcast every single day. Every single week. We appreciate you guys. Anyways, that's my list. Appreciate Jay coming on. Appreciate everybody who likes, subscribe, share this stupid podcast. That's a Sneak This. Pow. Go home. All right. Great timing. All right. Out of here.